The mark of the beast. I've gotten so many questions about this, so in this video we're going to talk about what is the mark of the beast. Why is it in the forehead or in the hand? And what does it mean that those who don't have the mark of the beast won't be able to buy and sell? Before we get into it, just know that this will not be a full study. It would take us about, maybe probably more than 3 hours to fully study this subject alone. Also, we would need to know who the beast is first in order for us to know what is his mark. Hence, the mark of the beast. So I highly recommend that you guys watch From Babylon's America, the prophecy movie first. It's from this channel. It's a movie. It will tell you in detail who the beast of Revelation 13 is. And if you guys want to watch that movie first, I highly recommend it. You guys watch the movie first. If you guys want to watch that movie first, the link is in the description box below. And also, I'll put a card up here somewhere. Also, for those of you guys who requested DVDs of this movie, you can order DVDs now at schoolforprophets.tv. The link is in the description box also. Or you can also go to the card up here. It'll take you to the website. So, first of all, who is the beast? If you guys have already watched the movie From Babylon to America, you will know in full detail who exactly the beast is, and that the beast is the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church state. We have made it crystal clear in the movie. The papacy is the beast of Revelation 13. Now, Revelation 14 verses 9 and 10 says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God." Where is the mark? In the forehead or in the hand. Who receives the mark? Those who worship the beast and his image. Revelation 14 verses 9 and 10, again it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, then the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God." Now those who worship the beast and his image have the mark of the beast, which is the papacy. The word that John the Revelator used for the word worship is the Greek word proskuneo, which means to bow down and prostrate oneself in obedience to another. So to worship means to bow down and obey. So those who have the mark of the beast means they are bowing down and obeying the beast. What do they obey if not the commandments of the beast? So those who have the mark of the beast literally means they bow down to the beast and obey his commandments. Revelation 14 and verse 11. "And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name." Again, those who have the mark are the ones who worship the beast and his image, which means they are keeping his commandments, the papacy's commandments. Clear, right? Very clear. Revelation 16 and verse 2, "And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." Again, those who worship and obey the beast and his image and obey his commandments are the ones who have the mark of the beast. Very, very clear. Super clear, right? Revelation 19 verse 20, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone." Again, those who worshipped the beast and his image and obey his commandments are the ones with the mark of the beast. Super clear. So if those who have the mark of the beast literally means they obey the commandments of the beast being the papacy, what is the papacy's commandments? We'll find out later on. But right now it's super clear that those who have the mark of the beast are the ones who are worshiping the beast and obeying his commandments. Revelation 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast. They had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. Now, contrasting those who have the mark of the beast, the ones who do not have the mark of the beast also do not worship the beast and his image, meaning they do not keep or obey the commandments of the beast or the papacy. So it's very, very clear. Very, very clear, right? That those who worship the beast, which is the papacy, those who keep the commandments of the papacy are the ones who have the mark of the beast in their hand and in their forehead. And those who do not worship the beast, those who do not keep the papacy's commandments, they are the ones who do not have the mark of the beast or the papacy. Very clear. Super clear. Now, is this a literal mark? Think about this for a second. In Revelation 13, we find a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns and the name of blasphemy on the forehead of that beast. Are we looking for an actual beast with 7 heads and 10 horns with a mark on his forehead that says blasphemy? No, it is symbolic. In Revelation 17, we find a harlot woman sitting on top of that scarlet-colored beast with the name Babylon, Babylon the Great, on her forehead. Now, are we looking for an actual prostitute that sits on top of a 7-headed beast with a mark on her head, on her forehead that says Babylon the Great? No, it's symbolic. Everything in the book of Revelation thematically is symbolic. What is a mark? The word that John the Revelator used for the word mark is the Greek word charagma, which means an imprint or a brand or a mark or a stamp that shows ownership. Like when a horse is branded, the brand tells us who the owner is. So if you have the mark of the beast, it shows that it is the beast who owns you. It is the papacy who owns you and who has authority over you. Now, why is it on the forehead? Or why is it in the forehead or in the right hand or in the hand? Here's where people trip up the most. Some believe that the mark will be a microchip that will be implanted in the forehead or the right hand. I mean, come on, I hate to admit it, but the devil is more cunning than that. The devil is more cunning than a microchip. I mean, I wish it was a microchip. I wish it was a microchip because then the decision would be so easy for people. No one would take the microchip. But we know that the mark is symbolic, and I'm sure that it is more clever and subtle and cunning than an obvious microchip. What does it mean then that the mark is in the forehead or in the right hand? Check this out. Talking about the 10 Commandments, Deuteronomy 6 and verse 8, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. So the 10 Commandments should be upon our hand and in the forehead. Frontlets between the eye. Why the hand? Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. The hand is symbolic for our actions. And of course, the forehead is symbolic for our thoughts and our thinking. God says that the 10 Commandments should be in our hands, meaning we should do them, and in our foreheads, meaning we should be thinking about them. Why? Why should this be? Like, why should it be in our hands? Why should it be in our actions? And why should we be thinking about the 10 Commandments? Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. It says there that the whole duty of man is to fear God and to keep his commandments. The complete duty of man is to fear God and to keep his commandments. That is why. Check out Jeremiah 31. Talking about the new covenant. the new covenant. Starting from verse 31, and behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people, says God. What is the thing that shows we are God's new covenant people? The law, the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments will be written in the heart. And this will be the thing that tells us apart from other people that we are God's people. Again, talking about the 10 commandments, Deuteronomy 11 and verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up these words in thy heart, in your heart and your soul, and bind them for a sign upon the hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes, the forehead. So God's new covenant people will have the 10 commandments written in their hearts, which means they will also have them in the hand, which means they will obey the 10 commandments. And they also have it in the mind. This is God's sign or signature, the 10 commandments. And God's new covenant people will have his sign in their hand, or in the forehead first and foremost, and it will show through their actions. That means the hand, showing that they are his people. Exodus 31 verse 13. Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. Ezekiel 20 verse 12. Moreover also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctify them. So even more specifically, the Sabbath, which is part of the 10 commandments, is the sign between God and his people, that they may know that God is the authority over them. And no, the Sabbath is not only for the Jew, because Jesus says in Mark 2 and verse 27 that the Sabbath was made for man, not Jew. And guess what else? Guess what's interesting about this? Guess what God prohibits during the Sabbath? Buying and selling. Buying and selling. Remember, you can't labor during the Sabbath. Buying and selling. That means you can't go out and sell t-shirts on the Sabbath, right? So, does the papacy have a sign or a mark or a commandment where you cannot buy or sell during a certain specific day? Well, we now know that God claims his sign, right? We now know what God claims to be his sign. Let's see what the papacy claims is their mark or their sign. Before we do all that, let's do a quick recap. The beast is the papacy. So to worship means to bow down in obedience to someone, to someone's commandments. So if you worship God, it literally means you bow down to him and keep his commandments. And if you worship the beast, you bow down to him and you keep his commandments. Those who have the mark of the beast literally means they keep the commandments of the beast, which is the papacy. To have the mark or a sign of someone in the forehead or the hand means you have their commandments in your mind and you obey them, and you obey their commandments, and it shows through your actions. God's commandments is the sign that we are his people, and even more specifically, the Sabbath is God's signature. And if we keep it, it lets people know that God, the God of the Bible, is our God. Very, very clear, right? Super clear, very understandable, 100% comprehensible, right? I mean, anybody can understand this. I'm hoping everybody can understand this. I got an email from a 13-year-old a few weeks ago, and I explained this same thing, and he understood it completely, no questions. 13 years old. So this is very understandable. Anybody and everybody should be able to understand this. Now, remember, to worship means to bow down in submission and obedience. So if you worship God, you will bow down to him and obey his commandments. So again, remember, those who have the mark of the beast are the ones who worship the beast and keep the commandments of the beast, which is the papacy. Now, does the papacy have their own commandments? Yes. In fact, the papacy's 10 commandments are different from God's 10 commandments as found in the Bible. In the papal 10 commandments, commandment number 2 about bowing down to idols is completely taken out. It makes sense because in the Catholic Church, they bow down to statues and even pray to statues. Now, I'm not saying this to make fun of people, but it's true. And since the second commandment is gone, the third commandment about using God's name in vain became the second commandment. And the Sabbath commandment, which is the fourth commandment, became the third commandment. And even that is changed. They say that we need to keep the Lord's Day, and they claim the Lord's Day to be Sunday. Biblically, that's not true. The Lord's Day, check this out, Isaiah 58 and verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord. Who's talking? The Lord. The Lord is talking. What does he call Sabbath? He calls Sabbath his day. So then biblically, the Sabbath is the Lord's day, not Sunday. Not Sunday. What does the papacy claim to be their sign or mark of authority? Let's ask the papacy themselves. Catholic Record of London, Ontario, September 1, 1923. Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. And that's a quote from Catholic Record of London, Ontario. Another quote, H.F. Thomas, Chancellor of Cardinal Gibbons. Of course, the Catholic Church, and this is a quote, of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change, Saturday Sabbath to Sunday, was her act, and the act is a mark of her ecclesiastical authority in religious things. Cardinal Gibbons, in Faith of Our Father, 92nd edition, page 89. He freely admits, you may read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and you will not find a single line authorizing the sanctification of Sunday. The scriptures enforce the religious observance of Saturday, a day which we, the Catholic Church, never sanctify. Again, the Catholic Mirror, official publication of James Cardinal Gibbons, it's on September 23, 1893. The Catholic Church, by virtue of her divine mission, changed the day from Saturday to Sunday. Our Sunday Visitor, February 5, 1950. Protestants do not realize, I quote, Protestants do not realize that by observing Sunday they accept the authority of the spokesperson of the Church, the Pope. Out of the horse's mouth itself. So what about buying and selling? Remember, on the Sabbath, God prohibits buying and selling. You cannot do work on the Sabbath unless, of course, it's healing. If you're healing people and doing medical work, that's fine, because Jesus said himself, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. It's lawful to heal on the Sabbath. Now, you guys heard me talk about this already, about the blue laws or the Sunday laws. It's already in the law books in America, and also in other countries, but not yet being enforced, right? Except for one country. The main objective of the blue laws is that every Sunday buying and selling would be banned, right? Okay, so only Poland. It already started in Poland, I think a few months ago. One Sunday out of the month, buying and selling is banned. Of course, except for gas and things like that, like gas stations and things like that. By next year, 2 Sundays out of the month, buying and selling will be banned, and by 2020, Sunday shopping will be banned completely, indefinitely. And every time there is a natural disaster, food and water and other necessary supplies become limited. So what if more natural disasters come and limits our necessities? People would die and there would be economic crisis. Now what if one religious leader comes out and says, "Oh, it's because we sinned against God with all these riots and mass shootings and racism, and we legalized gay marriage. Let's all worship God again on Sunday." Mandatory. Why? Because we need our necessities, right? Because food and water and other important supplies, we need those things. We can't afford more natural disasters. And if more natural disasters keep happening, who are they going to blame? Those who don't keep Sunday. Sabbath keepers, the true followers of God. Now remember, when that drought happened during Elijah's time, who did King Ahab blame? Elijah, the true follower of God. I mean, think about it. What if more disasters occur and we run out of necessities? We run out of supplies and necessities and we need to limit our spending. What if that one religious leader says only those who keep Sundays and want to uphold the good of society can buy and sell? Those who don't keep Sunday, limit their spending because they are not helping our cause. I mean, think about that. What if that happens? Think about that. Think about that. What if we Sabbath keepers are limited when it comes to buying and selling because we don't keep Sunday? We don't have that mark of the beast. I mean, it all boils down to one thing. Either obey God or not. And if we worship and obey God, what do we obey if not his commands? Think about it. Think about it. I hope this helped you guys. If you guys have more questions, I mean, this is only a brief study. It's only a brief study. If you guys have, again, I'm not doing this to make fun of people. I'm not doing this to ridicule the Catholic Church or Catholics, but I'm doing this because it's the truth. You can see it. It's historic. It's the truth. You can see it today. You can see things happening today. Right? So again, guys, if you guys have more questions, don't be shy to email me attila@schoolforprophets.tv. Link or my email is in the description. And also, if you guys are blessed by this study, make sure to like and share with your friends and family, coworkers, anybody who you know would be blessed by this Bible study video. And if you guys want to support this ministry and want to keep us afloat, you guys can do so. The links are in the description. You guys can donate there. You guys can donate at schoolforprophets.tv, or you guys can go to my Patreon account. Those who are in my Patreon account are going to see sneak previews of Prevail, the new movie that's coming out. And of course, you guys can also buy t-shirts if you guys want to. And DVDs are also available at schoolforprophets.tv. Again, guys, the movie From Babylon to America, it's free. It's on YouTube. It's free. You don't have to buy the DVD because it's free. But for those of you guys who want to buy the DVDs, it's at schoolforprophets.tv. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you guys have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask. Email me. All the links and stuff are in the description. Peace out. Praise God always. I hope this helped you. Praise God always. See you guys next time.